Hello, welcome to Wheels. Now, for those of you that regularly follow the channel, you're going to have noticed over the past 4 or 5 months, I've slowly been doing a little garage makeover around here. You know, we started off with yellow paint on the walls. And if you remember in this area, we had 2 posters that I purchased down at the Liberty World War I Museum. I really like those. I actually moved those in the house. I bought a new TV in the house, so I moved the old TV out into the garage. And then my neighbor hooked me up with Eric, Signs by Eric, who painted this wonderful hand-painted Wheels sign. I love that sign. It's really, really cool. In this area, we had an open shelving unit that I would store stuff on, but I wanted to build like a shout-out wall that you could see in the videos for people when they give me stickers and things. Mocan Car Muscle Club. Rest in peace, New York Joe. Rest in peace. We painted the walls gray, rehung all the signs up. I put a do-it-yourself coating down this floor. Purchased it from Home Depot back in 2011. And it just reached the end of its life cycle. You know, hot tire pickup. It wasn't a professional coating. It was a do-it-yourself coating. I didn't expect it to last forever. So then I decided, what do I want to do at this point? You know, there's companies out there like Swisstrax, and there's all kinds of epoxy coating now. But for my purposes, I just didn't care for the do-it-yourself coating, you know, so I contacted a company here in Kansas City called Garage Boost. And they came out to my house and they gave me a couple of different options and covered a couple of different price quotes. One of the things I didn't enjoy about my coating is it did stain. You know, after years of pulling in with dirt and debris or spilling things in the garage, like even Rain-X stained that floor. I don't know why, but it did. But it was also subject to hot tire pickup, that type of stuff. And I'll be honest with you, I just didn't even want to deal with it anymore. Not only that, you know, it takes a while for these epoxy coats to dry. So when they gave me the quote for the epoxy coat, I realized I was going to have to add a few $100s to that because I'm going to have to move everything out of the garage, store it in a storage pod outside overnight, so they could come in and die grind with diamond cut, diamond bit, cut bits, whatever those things are called, and grind up all the old epoxy coat before they could even start putting the base coat, put the fleck on, and then put the clear coat over the top of it. So you know what? In some of these cases, it's at least a 2 to 3 day process. So I didn't want to go through all that again. So I asked them about Swisstrax. And of course, they gave me a quote of the Swisstrax, and they were pretty comparable, both quotes. I'm not going to tell you what they were, blasted out over the internet. If you see me at a car show, ask me, I'll let you know. So when I got to inquiring about the Swisstrax and what all they do and what they don't do, I really liked them. The main thing that I really liked is they went down in just 5 hours. I pulled everything out of the garage. They showed up. I'm going to overlay footage now of when Garage Boost got here and Garage Boost putting the floor down. It was just incredible. They just snapped together. It's really no big deal. Now, a lot of people are like, well, Will, what happens? What happens if you spill something on the floor? Well, you can really just pick it up and they'll detach. If you spill oil or something on it, you can just pick it up and wipe the oil off. We didn't take the epoxy coating off my floor, so it's still underneath the Swisstrax, and just pop it back in place. If it gets too dirty, you can just mop it. The thing that I like about it though, is I'm not going to have to sweep, because the dirt and everything will just fall through the cracks and lay on the floor below it. And if it gets that bad and I really want to clean it up, I can just take a vacuum cleaner, vacuum it up, or I can take a pressure washer and pressure wash it out of the garage. Because the Swisstrax, look at that floor. God, that looks good. I've got a scrap piece they left me here. But the Swisstrax have these grooves in them. And underneath, there's channels. So whatever water that you bring in or introduce to the Swisstrax falls down, goes underneath, lays on top of the floor, and runs down the channels right out to the outside of the garage, just as it would if you had epoxy coating on the floor or anything. Now, this video isn't going to be about what's better, epoxy coat or Swisstrax or nothing like that. Everybody has to make their own personal decisions on what they like in their garage. But just look at this. Tell me, that doesn't look just cool. It just looks cool. And one thing I like about it too, I don't know if this comes up on camera, but if you look at these Swisstrax this way, they're clearly two colors. They're like a charcoal gray and a royal blue. But because of the way the Swisstrax are cut, if you look at it on a diagonal, it looks almost like four colors. A lighter gray, a darker gray, a lighter blue, and a darker blue. You know, that's all I got for you, but you know, there is one other thing. The main reason I decided to go with Swisstrax over an epoxy coating is because anytime you're trying to justify the amount of money you're spending on something like this, you know, especially if you got to justify it to the wife, the main reason I purchased it because if we ever decide to leave this house, I can actually pick this floor up and take it with me and adapt it to a new garage somewhere. So keep that in mind. Also, I want to give a huge shout out to Garage Boost. This is not a sponsored program. I didn't get any discount off this floor because I'm calling them out. They are a great company. If you're local here to Kansas City and you're looking at having something done to your garage, please give Garage Boost a call. I can't wait to get back to car shows. I don't know about you guys, but the weather's finally starting to change. COVID restrictions are starting to lift a little bit. And we're going to be out at some car shows soon. Matter of fact, I got to figure out how to be in two places at one time coming up next month. There's two things going on that I really want to go to, and they're only about an hour and a half apart, and I'm going to try my best to get to both places if I can. Well, that's going to wrap the video up, so please remember to like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button there for me. I really appreciate that. And as always, hang loose, keep shiny side up. Thanks.